Welcome to my book library. Before we begin our deep dive today, I have a special request for you, our valued listener. My book library is here for you, and I want to ensure we explore the books that matter most to your journey. What would you like us to summarize next? Are you seeking wisdom on health and wellness? Are you looking for simple, actionable strategies to improve your daily diet? Or perhaps you're curious about the fundamental principles of eating that have guided cultures for generations? Please share your next book request in the comments. Your choice will guide our future sessions. And now, let's begin today's immersive exploration. A very healthy and mindful welcome to you, esteemed listener, to my book library. Today, we are undertaking a crucial mission to simplify one of the most complex, confusing, and anxiety-inducing aspects of our modern lives: what to eat. We are immersing ourselves in Michael Pollan's brilliant, concise, and profoundly wise book, Food Rules and Eater's Manual. This book is a direct and powerful response to the overwhelming and often contradictory nature of modern nutritional science. Pollan masterfully diagnoses a condition he calls nutritionism, the reductive focus on individual nutrients like fats, carbs, proteins, and vitamins, rather than on whole foods, meals, and dietary patterns. This ideology, he argues, has been a catastrophe for our public health. It has taken the joy out of eating, made us dependent on experts, and allowed the food industry to market highly processed food-like substances by making dubious health claims about the isolated nutrients they contain. We have become a nation with a deeply unhealthy relationship with food, despite, or perhaps because of, our obsession with its biochemical components. Food Rules cuts through this noise with an elegant and powerful solution. It returns us to the timeless cultural wisdom about food that has guided humans for millennia. Wisdom that has been drowned out by the cacophony of food marketing and flawed science. The book is not a diet. It is a collection of simple, memorable, and timeless rules for eating well, drawn from a rich variety of cultural traditions, grandmother's advice, and plain common sense. Our session today will be an extensive, comprehensive, and detailed exploration of these rules, organized into the book's three main parts. We will first explore the fundamental question. Part 1. What should I eat? With the deceptively simple answer being, eat food. We will then answer Part 2. What kind of food should I eat? With the directive, mostly plants. And finally, we will tackle Part 3. How should I eat? With the crucial advice, not too much. Within this elegant framework, we will unpack dozens of specific, practical, witty, and deeply insightful rules that you can start applying to your life today, transforming your relationship with food from one of anxiety to one of pleasure and health. So, let us begin this journey back to simplicity, back to sanity, and back to the deep, abiding joy of eating real food. Part 1. What to eat? Eat food. The first and most important part of the book is built on a single, powerful, and revolutionary rule. Rule number 1. Eat food. At first glance, this seems absurdly obvious. But Pollan is making a profound and critical distinction. He is not talking about the edible food-like substances that fill the center aisles of our supermarkets, products that are the result of complex industrial processing. He is talking about real, whole, traditional food. The kind of thing your ancestors would unequivocally recognize as something to eat. To help us navigate the modern grocery store and identify real food amidst a sea of processed imitations, Pollan provides a set of brilliantly simple guiding rules. Rule number 2. Don't eat anything your great-grandmother wouldn't recognize as food. This is perhaps the book's most famous rule. Conduct a simple thought experiment. Imagine taking your great-grandmother on a shopping trip. Hold up a tube of Go-Gurt, a packet of Lunchables, or a protein bar. Would she have any idea what this is? Would she recognize it as something that came from nature? This rule acts as an immediate and effective filter, weeding out the most novel and processed modern inventions. Rule number 3. Avoid food products containing ingredients that no ordinary human would keep in their pantry. Read the ingredient list. Do you have jars of mono and diglycerides, sodium benzoate, or calcium propionate in your kitchen cupboard? If the list reads like a chemical experiment rather than a recipe, you are looking at a highly processed product, not a whole food. Rule number 4. Avoid food products that contain high fructose corn syrup. Pollan uses this not to demonize one specific sweetener, but as a reliable marker for a whole class of highly processed foods. High fructose corn syrup is a cheap, industrially produced sweetener that is ubiquitous in sodas, candies, and packaged baked goods. Its presence is a strong indicator that a product has strayed far from its natural, whole food origins. Weeding out the most novel, unprocessed modern inventions. Rule number 3. Avoid food products containing ingredients that no ordinary human would keep in their pantry. Read the ingredient list. Do you have jars of mono and diglycerides, sodium benzoate, or calcium propionate in your kitchen cupboard? If the list reads like a chemical experiment rather than a recipe, you are looking at a highly processed product, not a whole food. Rule number 4. Avoid food products that contain high fructose corn syrup. Pollan uses this not to demonize one specific sweetener, but as a reliable marker for a whole class of highly processed foods. High fructose corn syrup is a cheap, industrially produced sweetener that is ubiquitous in sodas, candies, and packaged baked goods. Its presence is a strong indicator that a product has strayed far from its natural whole food origins. Rule number 5. Avoid foods that have some form of sugar or sweetener listed among the top 3 ingredients. This rule recognizes that sugar is sugar, whether it's called sucrose, honey, maple syrup, or organic cane juice. By checking the top 3 ingredients, you can identify products that are essentially desserts in disguise, from sweetened yogurt to sugary breakfast cereals and pasta sauces. This hidden sugar is a primary driver of overconsumption and metabolic disease. Rule number 6. Avoid food products that contain more than 5 ingredients. The specific number 5 is arbitrary, but the principle is sound. Whole foods have one ingredient: themselves. A packaged food with a long list of ingredients, especially unpronounceable ones, is a sign of extensive industrial processing designed to enhance shelf life, texture, and flavor at the expense of nutritional quality. Rule number 7. Avoid food products that make health claims. This is one of the most brilliant and counterintuitive rules. Pollan points out a stark reality. For a food to carry a health claim on its package, it must first have a package. The healthiest foods in the supermarket, the fresh vegetables, fruits, and fish in the produce and butcher sections, are silent. They have no marketing budgets and make no health claims. A box of cereal screaming about its heart-healthy fiber, or a bottle of oil boasting its omega-3s, is often a sign that the natural health benefits of the original food have been stripped out and then added back in a less beneficial, synthetic form. Rule number 8. Shop the peripheries of the supermarket and stay out of the middle. This is a practical strategy for navigating the modern grocery store. In most layouts, the fresh whole foods, produce, meat and fish, dairy, and often the bakery are arranged around the outer walls. The center aisles are reserved for the processed, packaged, and shelf-stable food products. By sticking to the perimeter, you automatically increase your chances of filling your cart with real food. Rule number 9. Get out of the supermarket whenever possible. This rule encourages you to go beyond the supermarket entirely. Visit a farmer's market, join a CSA, community-supported agriculture, where you get a weekly box of produce directly from a farm. This not only guarantees you are buying the freshest, most seasonal plants. Once you have successfully chosen to eat real food, the next logical question is, what kind of real food should dominate your plate? The answer is beautifully simple. Rule number 10. Mostly plants. This does not necessarily mean you have to become a strict vegetarian or vegan, but it does mean that plants, vegetables, fruits, legumes, and whole grains should form the foundation and the bulk of your diet. The science is unequivocal. Diets rich in plant foods are associated with lower rates of chronic disease and longer lifespans. A set of nuanced and practical rules helps us refine and implement this core principle. Rule number 11. Eat your colors. The brilliant pigments in plants are not just for show. They are often biomarkers for the presence of specific phytochemicals, antioxidants, and vitamins that are crucial for our health. The deep green of spinach signals chlorophyll and folate. The bright red of a tomato indicates lycopene. The vibrant orange of a carrot is beta-carotene. The purple of a beet comes from betalains. Therefore, a colorful plate is a healthy plate. Aim for a rainbow on your plate to ensure a diverse intake of these protective compounds. Rule number 12. Eat animals that have themselves eaten well. This rule addresses the critical issue of meat quality, not just quantity. The diet of an animal has a profound impact on the nutritional profile of its meat, milk, and eggs. A cow that has grazed on grass its entire life produces beef that is leaner and has a healthier ratio of omega-3 to omega-6 fatty acids compared to a cow fattened on grain in a feedlot. The same goes for pastured chickens and their eggs. You are, in a very real sense, eating what the animal ate. Rule number 13. Eat well-grown food from healthy soil. This rule extends the previous one up the food chain. The health of the soil in which our food is grown is the ultimate foundation of our own health. Healthy living soil, rich in organic matter and microbes, produces more nutritious plants. This is a powerful argument for seeking out local and organic growers who use regenerative agricultural practices that build soil health rather than deplete it with chemical fertilizers and pesticides. Rule number 14. Eat like an omnivore. While the advice is to eat mostly plants, diversity within that category is key. Don't get stuck eating the same 3 vegetables every week. The Western diet is notoriously narrow, based on a few staple crops like corn, wheat, and soy. By eating a wide variety of different plant and animal species, you ensure a broader range of essential nutrients and also minimize your exposure to any single pesticide or environmental contaminant. Rule number 15. Eat wild foods when you can. Wild foods, such as wild mushrooms, berries, greens like dandelion, and fish like wild salmon, are often significantly more nutritious than their domesticated counterparts. This is because wild plants and animals have had to develop their own robust defenses against pests and diseases, many of which are beneficial to us as well. Rule number 16. Don't overlook the oily little fishes. Small, oily, cold water fish like sardines, anchovies, and mackerel are nutritional powerhouses, They are among the best sources of the vital omega-3 fatty acids, EPA and DHA. Furthermore, because they are low on the marine food chain, they are short-lived and accumulate far fewer toxins like mercury than larger predatory fish such as tuna. Rule number 17. Eat more like the French, or the Japanese, or the Italians, or the Greeks. Pollan points to traditional diets from cultures known for their health and longevity, the so-called blue zones. These diets are all very different. The Japanese eat a lot of rice and fish. The French enjoy cheese and wine. The Italians love their pasta. And the Greeks consume ample olive oil. The key takeaway is not to adopt a specific foreign diet, but to recognize the common principles they all share. They are based on whole foods. They are eaten in a social context. They include plenty of plants, and they are not organized around the reductive ideology of nutritionism. Rule number 18. Treat meat as a flavoring or a special occasion. This is a highly practical rule for implementing mostly plants in a Western context, where meat is often the centerpiece of the meal. Instead of a 16-ounce steak, think of meat as a condiment, a few slices of bacon to flavor a pot of beans, a small amount of ground meat in a tomato sauce, or a roast chicken that provides several meals by being stretched into soups and salads. Part 3. How to eat, not too much. The final part of the book addresses a problem just as pressing as what we eat, how we eat. Our modern eating culture is characterized by mindless overconsumption, constant snacking, eating alone, and eating on the run. The antidote is captured in the simple, powerful phrase, not too much. A collection of rules guides us toward more mindful, moderate, and pleasurable eating habits. Rule number 19, stop eating before you are full. This rule draws on a traditional piece of wisdom from Japan and China. Hara hachi bu, eat until you are 80% full. The crucial insight is that there is a significant lag time, about 20 minutes, between when your stomach has had enough food and when your brain receives the signal. If you stop when you feel full, you have likely overeaten. Rule number 20. Eat when you are hungry, not when you are bored. So much of our eating is driven by emotion, habit, distraction, or the clock, not by genuine physiological hunger. Learn to pause and ask yourself, am I actually hungry, or am I just tired, stressed, or bored? Rule number 21. Consult your gut. This rule is a corollary to the previous one. It encourages you to pay attention to the physical sensations in your stomach, not just the time on the clock or your emotional state, to decide when to start and, more importantly, when to stop eating. Rule number 22. Eat slowly. This rule is the practical mechanism that makes rule number 19 possible. It takes time for the "I'm full" signal to travel from your stomach to your brain. By eating slowly, putting your fork down between bites, and savoring your food, you give this biological feedback loop a chance to work, preventing you from accidentally overeating. Rule number 23. The banquet is in the first bite. This is a rule about the psychology of pleasure. Our taste buds are most sensitive and delighted by the first few bites of any food. After that, the law of diminishing marginal utility sets in. Each subsequent bite brings less pleasure. By mindfully savoring those first glorious bites, you may find you are satisfied with a much smaller quantity. Rule number 24. Spend as much time enjoying the meal as it took to prepare it. This is a beautiful rule that honors the food, the cook, and the act of eating itself. It encourages a slower, more ritualized approach to the meal, transforming it from mere fuel consumption into a meaningful and pleasurable event. Rule number 25. Buy smaller plates and glasses. This rule leverages a powerful bit of cognitive psychology. Research consistently shows that we tend to eat whatever is in front of us. By simply switching to smaller plates and bowls, you can significantly reduce your portion sizes without triggering a sense of deprivation. Your eyes and brain will perceive a full small plate as a more satisfying portion than a half-empty large plate. Rule number 26. Serve a proper portion and don't go back for seconds. This is about making a conscious pre-commitment. Decide at the start of the meal how much you are going to eat. Serve that amount on your plate and make a rule not to take second helpings. This prevents mindless overeating that can happen when you eat directly from a serving dish. Rule number 27. Breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, dinner like a pauper. This old adage is supported by good sense. It makes more physiological logic to consume the bulk of your calories earlier in the day, when you are active and need energy, rather than loading up on a huge meal right before you go to sleep, when your body's metabolism is winding down. Rule number 28. Eat meals. This rule is a direct challenge to our culture of constant, mindless snacking. The structure of distinct meals with clear beginnings and endings helps regulate your appetite and metabolism and prevents the all-day grazing that leads to a constant, elevated insulin level and calorie overload. Rule number 29. Limit your snacks to unprocessed plant foods. If you must snack between meals, let your snacks be real food. A piece of whole fruit, a handful of raw nuts, or some carrot and celery sticks are excellent choices that provide nutrients and fiber without the processed oils, sugars, and refined flours of conventional snack foods. Rule number 30. Do all your eating at a table. This rule is fundamentally about mindfulness. When you eat at a table, you are more likely to be conscious of what and how much you are eating. This stands in stark contrast to eating in the car, at your desk, or in front of the television, activities that lead to mindless eating, where you can consume an entire bag of chips without even realizing it. Rule number 31. Don't get your fuel from the same place your car does. This is a pithy and memorable rule that highlights the absurdity of our modern food environment. Gas stations have become temples of processed food. Just don't buy your food there. Rule number 32. Cook, and if you can, plant a garden. Pollan has called this the most important rule. The single most impactful thing you can do for your health is to take back control of your diet by cooking your own food. When you cook, you are in complete control of the ingredients, the portions, and the quality. You will naturally use less sugar, salt, and unhealthy fats. Furthermore, planting a garden, even if it's just a pot of herbs on a windowsill, is a revolutionary act that reconnects you with the origins of your food and provides a deep, non-nutritional form of nourishment. Rule number 33. Break the rules once in a while. Pollan ends with this crucial piece of advice, which is essential for a healthy psychological relationship with food. Obsessing over food rules is unhealthy in its own way. All healthy culinary traditions have feast days, celebrations, and exceptions. What matters is the overall pattern, the long-term habits, not the occasional indulgence. Be strict most of the time so you can be splurged without guilt some of the time. The simplicity of eating well. As we conclude our deep and thorough exploration of food rules, the overarching message is one of profound liberation and a return to common sense. Michael Pollan has masterfully cut through the paralyzing complexity and fear mongering of modern nutrition and returned us to a place of clarity, tradition, and pleasure. The path to healthy eating is not found in the latest fad diet. the most recent headline-grabbing study on a single nutrient, or the deceptive health claims on a package. It is found in the simple, time-tested principles that have guided healthy cultures for millennia. Eat real food, not too much, mostly plants. By following these simple rules, by eating what your ancestors would recognize, by filling your plate with a rainbow of colors, by eating slowly and mindfully at a table, and, most importantly, by cooking for yourself and your loved ones, you can take back control of your health and your relationship with food. This is not a rigid, punitive diet, but a flexible, joyful framework for a lifetime of good eating. It is a return to pleasure, to tradition, to community, and to the simple, undeniable truth that food is, at its heart, about health, connection, and the profound enjoyment of life itself. So go to the farmer's market and be delighted by what you find. Cook a simple, beautiful meal from scratch. Sit down at a table with people you love. Talk, laugh, and savor every single mindful bite. Thank you for your valuable time and for listening to this comprehensive audio summary in My Book Library.